Let's talk about Divine Might and what you may not know about how having two tier 5 accessories with Divine Might works. I'm Acqina. Welcome back to another Rise of Kingdoms video. Please, if you're enjoying the content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let's get straight into it. For those of you that don't know what Divine Might is, you unlock Divine Might when you have iconic leveled your accessory to level 5. What it does is, whenever the wielder's troop launches any basic attack, it has a 10% chance to gain one of the following effects for 2 seconds. This has a cooldown of 5 seconds. What's really interesting is the wording. It says one of the following effects, and they are either of 5% or 6.5 talented, more normal damage, and you also take 5% or 6.5% less normal damage, or it does the same effect for skill damage. When you're reading this, your natural thought process would be, okay, so I have a 10% chance to gain a 50% chance of getting the damage boost relevant to my troops. But if I have two and they both proc, doesn't that mean that's doubled? So I would get an increase of 13% damage and take 13% less normal damage by having two? Well, why don't we test it? So we're going to use Arthur purely because he's going to proc it much more often as a result of having the butterfly effect inscription, which we are going to be doing a video on soon. I've removed everything else just because I don't want the battle reports to be too congested. Just keep it clean as possible. I've removed all his talents also. We're just keeping it focused on the gear and hoping the increased proc rate from butterfly effect means we can see more cases of this piece of equipment of tier 5 gear proccing. So on our 2377 account, let's go find a barb. Okay, there we go. And we're just going to use Arthur. Okay, so what we are trying to see is when we have two iconic level 5 accessories together, what happens with Divine Might? How does it interact with one another? Does it double boost it, or what? How does it work? So let's skim through the data and try and see from the battle log what we have found. So we can see on the left the jump from turn 4 to 5, the number of buffs that we have active. There's a huge difference, so that must mean one of the items, one of the accessories has actually procced. And we can see here, the Horn of Fury has procced. What is interesting is only the Horn of Fury is coming up. 6.5% normal damage taken, but then I can also see 6.5% skill damage and all of the buffs to do with that. But it's only saying Horn of Fury, which is a bit confusing, because technically it shows the horn proccing everything, but it only said it can proc once. So let's keep looking. Can we find a ring proc, perhaps, for Divine Might? So here we can see it again, and it's the horn again, and the same thing has happened. It's 6.5% for normal damage, and it's 6.5% for skill damage. So what's going on? Why is this happening? We continue to look. Turn 28, the horn is procced again. The Ring of Doom has appeared, but that's its ability. It's not the tier 5 Divine Might. Again, turn 34. The exact same. Horn of Fury again. And this will continue throughout the entirety of the report. This really confused me when I was looking at it, because it makes you feel like, what's the point of having two accessories? Because only one of them seems to be proccing. So what we can now do is we can recall Arthur and we can try again. But this time we're going to remove the Horn of Fury and just have the ring on and see whether it makes any difference. Okay, so let's now see what happens when we attack another barb, but this time without the horn. Battle is done. We'll go to the battle log and we'll look for the first proc of Divine Might. Okay, we found it. you'll immediately notice that the Ring of Doom has appeared at last, and its ability, its Divine Might, has actually procced. But what's interesting to see is it's only procced one of the two effects, so it's only proc skill damage, which is what the original ability said it did. Let's get a few more just to double check. Okay, here we go again. The ring has proc Divine Might, and it's only boosted normal damage. And then one more time, it's only boosted normal damage. So we can see that when it comes to Divine Might and running two of them at the same time, both at level 5, it produces one of two things. Divine Might does not stack on top of one another. What ends up happening is both Divine Mights go off at the same time. It's a shared ability, but instead of stacking on top of one another and leaving it to chance for which one is going to give you which buff, they share the same cooldown and you get both buffs at the same time. So you are guaranteed to get 6.5% damage increase to your preferred damage type. So interesting finding. Some of you may know this already, but putting it out there for those that aren't aware, when you stack two tier 5 accessories, this is how Divine Might works between the two. So yeah, that's Divine Might. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. Please just write in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much for watching, and catch you all later.